What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're watching the Low Shack in the Bag show. My name is Jimmy the Bag. My partner, Lodo's Low Shack, is in NYC right now, but will be joining us remotely a couple times this week. Won't be here tonight, but we have a huge, massive show. In 9 minutes, DJ Big Boss will be here. 24 minutes. Drew Martin will be joining us. So both DJ Big Boss, Drew Martin will be banging out college basketball plays, also discussing what they think the Super Bowl might entail, might have in store for us. And then King Rail will be back for the last 25 minutes of this show. And man, did King Rail and Maxwell Smart smash the early show. Let's just do a quick review of what happened on the early show. King Rail had Oklahoma City first half. I know he had that for sure. I believe he also had the over, which would have cashed too, but Oklahoma City first half cashed easily. I stayed off that game, probably a mistake. But after breaking the game down, King Rail got a whole bunch of us on Chicago, minus 2.5. They opened up with a 31-18 first quarter. They were up and won easily. Then Detroit, Washington under. I wasn't sure what to do. I wasn't sure how the paint being less clogged, I thought maybe that would help offense. But as soon as King Rail said they're not going to get the second chance shots, and we know how bad they are as an outside shooting team, I jumped on the under and smashed that easily. I probably should have taken Washington too, but I wouldn't have done that unless King Rail had talked about not having those second chance points. And I thought, of course, the light went off in my head. Of course, that's the play. Then Dallas, Milwaukee, I stayed off it. Dallas did cover by a point. And then Orlando, Atlanta. Orlando took care of business. I was on Atlanta money line. So 2-1 to start the NBA card. And I'm very happy with that. Right now, Brooklyn's taking care of business. And then let's go to NHL. Nashville dominating. Nashville 4-1. So I'm going to lose the bet there. Right now, it's just scored on an empty net. But I talked about value with the total of the Blues-Kings game. There was no value, and it was an afternoon game in a sloppy situation. I took the over. I got plus 120 on the show, got plus 115 in my bet. It's 2-2 halfway through the game. Looking very, very nice right there. And then let's talk about my man, Maxwell Smart, coming in here, making a play on every single game. Now, I didn't make a play on all of them. First game I did make was on Howard. Howard lost by 13, didn't cover. But after that, Max was eating. Farley Dickinson, easy casher. Then UNC Asheville barely cashed by the skin of their teeth, but I was off those games. But Central Connecticut State gets killed by Robert Morris. Sacred Heart smashes Wagner. That was what he said. That was another one of my plays. I was on Sacred Heart smashing, thanks to Max. Then look at what else I'm on. Presbyterian up 9. That was a play that Max gives. North Carolina Central is dominating. I'm going to be 3-1 in no time at all in college basketball. Already, it's going to be a very juicy day. We already are almost in a situation where we can't lose money today. And because of that, I don't think we need to reach too much when we're adding plays on this card right now. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the spectacular capping of our chat and experts like King Rail and Maxwell Smart. I love you guys very, very much. You're putting money in my pocket, and it pumps me up. And it makes me not feel sick when I'm cashing tickets. All right, let's keep rolling. Shout out to all the low baggers in the house. Cole Coleone in business. Old Money 27. Gas Mask 42. Shout out. He told us Pats Rams Super Bowl. Joe Ramirez in the house. Jorge Crespo ready to get to work. Red Girl saying what up. Sean Williams in the house. Sean Williams absolutely destroying college basketball. Flipper 13. Radley B. Vinny Cornell. Leo Mack. Ike Johnson. Gate Pass Key. Not applicable. Headshot. Mally Mal. What a great, great group. What a great group of guys. Capping 24-7. Mr. Ghoster. This thing moves real fast and I lose people. But Chip Pyler. Gut Alive TV. Ski Profit in the house. Can't wait to have Ski Profit here with us tomorrow. What a great, great group. Let's get to work. We're going to have Big Boss here in 5 minutes. So the one thing I want to do first and foremost, Ike Johnson, 21-5 NBA run. I'm following him on Twitter. You guys should too. 49ers for life joining us. So let's get through this NHL card and get rid of it and focus on everything else. We're in a nice situation. I mean, it's obviously not going to be a big profitable day, but it'll be a slight profitable day. If the over hits, which I fully expect it to, it'll be, I guess just $30. Whatever. It's enough after losing the Carolina or the Colorado spot. Hitting here with the over will be nice and juicy. And then we have Wild at Golden Knights. Let's talk about this game quickly before we get our man DJ Big Boss in the house. Wild are coming off a 2-1 win at home over the Jackets on Saturday night. Victor Rask picked up an assist, was a +1, 3 shots on goal, blocked a shot in his Minnesota debut. You know, he was traded for Nino Niederreiter. The Wild continue to be without stud defenseman Matt Dumba. It is now being said that he's not going to return this season, or unlikely to return this season. They're also without Eric Furr. Golden Knights coming off an impressive 7-3 home win over the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday night. Knights scored the final 4 goals. Marchessault got himself a hat trick. Marc-Andre Fleury got his league-leading 27th victory. Vegas still has 3 forwards on the IR: Eric Howlett, William Carrier, and Riley Smith. Mr. Gokes are like in first period under and full game under. Very interesting. Let's see. At this point, I don't know. I'd love to hear what Gate Pass Key has to say about these last 2 games. So we got 4 minutes. I don't need to horribly rush it, but we do need to look into it. Let's see. Gate Pass Key says, very surprised the Avs didn't give a better fight. Vegas and Sharks puck line traps. I tell you, at this point, with Vegas being this big favorites, I mean, Minnesota's not playing well. But let's see, what would you get on the -1.5? Is it enough to pull the trigger? +150. They probably pull the trigger, but I don't think I want to do that. Florida, on the other hand, is an interesting situation because we're getting a Sharks team without Erik Karlsson. And the big thing happening with the Panthers right now is Vincent Trocheck. He is back, and they're just a completely different team with this guy in the lineup. Broke his right ankle 2 months ago. He's supposed to be out another month, but he's already back. He's been back for 2 games. 3-1 home victory over Toronto, 4-2 road victory at Nashville. They had lost 7 straight before he returned in Toronto. Centering the second line with Huberdeau and Bukestad. I like those 2 guys. We got Huberdeau, very soft hands. I believe he was a 5th overall pick. And then we got Bukestad, 6'6", not a big body, but sort of not quite as big as Pronger. But he's tall, and he can have a heavy stick, and he can weigh it on you if he needs to. Trocheck also got a breakaway goal and an assist against Nashville. Listen to what they talked with old Buff said about him. Bob Buffner said, you see how many times I use Troch, he's going to call him. You see how many times he used Troch in the defensive zone faceoffs, especially at the end in the 6-on-5? I think he won 3 or 4 in a row. That's big. You can only play Barkey, being Barkov, their captain, so much in those situations. He says, we're a more complete team. Troch is our engine. And you can see by his effort how much it means to this team. Sharks have lost 2 straight, both 6-3 games. Phoenix and Tampa on Saturday night. Erik Karlsson won't be in the lineup. First game of a road back-to-back. I think they're in a real bad spot here. A real bad spot. And Sophia joining us too. Before we get into exactly what we want to do with these last 2 games, Troy V in the house, Jim Rome's a douche in the house. I want to say that we have extended for 24 more hours. We are going to be doing a live on our late show tomorrow. We're going to pick out the winner who's getting flown by SBR down to Costa Rica, sent to Jaco Beach to party with us in the nicest penthouse the Jaco Beach has to offer at Crocs Hotel and Casino and Resort. You have 24 more hours. All you have to do is make a video. It's not a video competition. All you have to do is make a video and hashtag SBR, hashtag BetCast, and we will be drawing the winner live on tomorrow's late show. 24 more hours. All you have to do is make a video. Let's do it. Come join us. Join us in Costa Rica. Saying all that, Tomar says Sharks have a big game against Washington next, and they're off Tampa game. Good spot for Florida. But Mr. Gokes are taking Sharks puck line at 220. I'm not going to jump on that. Ike Johnson saying I got Sharks money line -115. I really think that the Panthers are the play, but do you want to take them as a mild favorite? I do want to take them. I'm going to spend a little bit more time. I might add that on in the late show. I'm not going to bother with this Minnesota-Vegas spot. Feel like Vegas could be on a letdown after a great game against the Penguins. Do I want to grab Florida right here at anywhere between +103 and +109? I think I do. I think, Jim Rome's a douche. Has naked video coming soon. Perfect. I think I do, but I'm not going to hammer it right now. I'm going to wait and make a decision. But that does seem, you know what? I need to make sure that I'm going to hit this over in St. Louis, LA. Maybe then that will give me a chance to kind of fool around with just profit. When you're playing with the black, it's a lot easier. So I think I might make a move on the Panthers at home. I think that they're a quality team right now. They feel good about themselves. San Jose may be looking at taking a little break now. It's a tough spot. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger, but that's all the NHL we need. Let's move on because we have more important things to do. We've got experts throughout the rest of our show, starting with our man, DJ Big Boss. Big Boss, how are you, my man? You looking good.
What up, Jimmy? Live and direct. Long Beach, California right now, man. Feeling good today. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I am feeling good. We got off to a great start today. Mr. Gokster says head-to-head, Jimmers. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger, Gokster. There's no real reason for me to do that right now. I think I may hold off. But I heard, Big Boss, I heard that you sent us a video. Is that true?
Absolutely, Jim. Y'all gonna play the video or what? The people been asking me in the chat, when's the next video? When's the next video? So I'm back doing videos. My man Pete, we can't find my man Pete. I'll give y'all the narrative. We can't find my man Pete because he been missing from the show for a couple days. But roll the video, man. Let the people see the video.
Let's do it, Rafa. Let's get that video up and rolling. I love Big Boss videos. Oh, shit. Okay, it's okay. That stuff will happen. Rafa, we locked and loaded? Beautiful.
Man, word on the street, LoBaggers. Pete's in trouble. Either he's been kidnapped or he's going through some things with the missus at the house that he don't want to talk about. Hey, man, this that fool right here, man. Leather coat, hoodie, bunch of bags. Was on the train. This the dude that kidnapped Peter LoShack. Let's spark a little conversation. See that game last night?
I can't. That's a form of entertainment. I feel like it all falls into the same thing.
Wait! Blessed be Satana!
Man, who the hell you talking to, man? Who are you anyway, man? I heard you a kidnapper. Did you kidnap the homeboy Peter LoShack? Huh?
You gonna stop jerking in my fucking body? Fucking demon.
Look here, homie. Word on the street is you kidnapped the homie Peter LoShack. Did you kidnap the homie Peter LoShack? If it is, it's going down right now, homie.
Fuck! It's over for him.
Man, Pete, if you out there and this fool didn't eat you or something crazy and you just going through some things with your ladies, man, I got a little suggestion for you, man. I seen this late night the other night watching TV.
Today I woke up without an erection. But by taking this little white pill, I've been rock hard for hours, and she loves it. Call 1-877, get me up to date. Side effects may include testicle swelling. If erection lasts more than 4 hours, please seek nearest medical provider. Thanks, Get Me Up. You've saved my love life.
Hope I've been some help, Pete. See you tomorrow, I hope.
You gotta check in.
Oh, there we are. We're back. Okay. Man, what a great video. Who doesn't need a rock hard erection at all times of the day and night? Shout out to my man, DJ Big Boss. Killing it. Big Boss. Now, one thing is, we love your videos. You're very, very funny. But, Big Boss, we also want you to put money in our pockets. What is the college basketball action that you are looking at right now?
Okay, let's get down to business then. See, the way I see it, I only really cover a few conferences at a time. Sometimes I don't even get a game. But today I got one game. I got Georgetown and Creighton. Georgetown's a really good home team. I like Georgetown at home always. Patrick Ewing's over there. He's guiding these guys away. And they sitting kind of tied a little bit over in third place over there for the division. So they need this win. Creighton, they're slipping down the blocks, and we don't know what's really going on with this team. And at the -1, I'm taking on money line. So I'm taking Georgetown money line. That's my number one play in college basketball. But I got some more for you too. Y'all ready? I'm going to go ahead and go right into some more.
Well, let's talk about this Georgetown spot for a second. There were a couple cappers on the early show saying, take Georgetown, jump on it now. And I did copy and paste the guys who are really pushing. Now, True Breeze was on Creighton, but my man Geghard A said, the bag, please jump on Georgetown -1.5 after it opened at a pick'em. It's now at -1.5. Jump on this now. I think that makes a ton of sense. Mally Mal says, give me Creighton. Are you jumping on Georgetown just full game, Big Boss?
I'm taking them first half and full game. I expect them to run away at home after that upsetting loss they had. They got to be going for the goal right here. It's got to start from the beginning of the game and follow all the way through. That's Ewan's a big man. That's how he coaching his team. Like, we got to start and demolish people from the beginning to the end.
Wow, Tom Marino also saying Georgetown has been strong as an underdog, but they have to win this game. I am on Creighton. I'm going to roll with you, Big Boss. I'm going to jump on Georgetown here. There's a pick'em available at Pinnacle at minus 110. So I'm going to roll that into my action right now. So that is my 7th play on this card. I should be 3-1 moving on. I have Delaware State and St. Francis live right now. So we will see what happens. But I'm jumping with my man, DJ Big Boss. I'm going to take Georgetown with them at a pick'em minus 110 at Pinnacle. What else are you thinking about?
Oh, man, I'm going to slide on to another late game. So by this time, Jimmy, you'll be nice and a little sauced up, ready to make some more cash after cashing in the Georgetown play. We're going to take it to the Northern Colorado and the Idaho State game over in the Big Sky. Now, Northern Colorado is top tier in this division. Idaho State is number 6 in this division, and North Colorado got a lot of little stuff they got to prove, in the top 3 right there to try to stay on top of the division so they can get a chance to go to the big dance. So Northern Colorado is a very explosive team, man. You never know. They might score 80, they might score 60, all in a winning effort. So I've had my eye on Northern Colorado, not one of the conferences that I really follow, but one of those sleeper teams that I kind of keep an eye on. They're on the road this one, so it's a little risky because they're on the road. But Northern Colorado is only minus 1.5 points right here, and they got my man Jay Davis. He's averaging 23 points a game, so he's coming to bring it.
I like the way the market is seeing this game with Northern Colorado as well. We did have a question come in about that Georgetown game, about the total and what you were feeling. Open at 167.5, being bet down to 165.5, 165 or 164.5. You have any feel on the total in Creighton, Georgetown?
I'm liking the under in that game. Georgetown, they can go flat. They're not the best shooting team, and Creighton can shoot pretty well too. That's why it's up a little high. But in these college games, when it gets over 150, I'm always kind of leaning towards the under.
Under, I feel you. That's where the market is moving. That is interesting. I'm going to look a little bit more into that, but not make an official pick yet. And liking Northern Colorado, is that a spot you're going to go first half and full game, or are you just picking one spot, either full game or first half?
I'm going to take it easy on this one. I'm just going to go full game. Northern Colorado, it's probably going to be some ups and downs. Idaho State is at home. They are 6th in the division. 6 can beat, 2 and, so forth. So it's kind of risky play right here. Like I said, I keep my eye on Northern Colorado. This is a spot for them. And that's the only reason I'm jumping on this one. I usually stick to my conferences that I follow, like Georgetown in the Big East. But this is the Big Sky. I don't do much over here, but I'm definitely got my money laying full game on Northern Colorado.
I'm going to keep looking at the Northern Colorado spot. Cash Action Bets backing that as well. And our man Raven in the Desert liking both your sides or both your spots, Georgetown and the under in that big game, Georgetown Creighton. Okay, you looking at anything else tonight?
That's all I can really pick out of there. I know my man Maxwell, man, he got the whole card lined up. Me, like I said, I picked my spots. Those are my 2 spots for the day. I'm going to sit on them.
I like these spots, and I like that the market is moving in that direction towards Northern Colorado. I'm thinking of making a move. You have any feel on this total in Northern Colorado? Idaho State opened at 148, now up to 152 and 152.5.
Not at all, Jimmy. I can't, like I said, it's one of the teams I kind of watch from the side, so I can't really do much on the total right there, man. I'm gonna just stick with Northern Colorado.
I like the look of Northern Colorado here. Northern Colorado market moving in that direction. I will join both of your plays. There's a minus 1.5 here at minus 111, and I think will be what I take. I'll take minus 1.5 at minus 111. That's available at Pinnacle. Northern Colorado, minus 1.5 at minus 111. That will be official pick. And I'm very interested in also hammering this under. I found when the total moves in that sweet spot for me, which is between 2 and 3 points, I hit at a very high percentage, and that's what this has done. Let's see when the movement of this Creighton-Georgetown total is gone. So what do you think that Georgetown has the perimeter defense to slow down Creighton's three-point shooters?
Not really. They probably won't be able to lock up the 3 line, but they definitely got the insides locked up, man. They got some pretty big fellas down there. And, Ewan basically coaches a system that he felt comfortable playing in. If you watch, how they roll over there. And, it's a big man game over there. They probably let them shoot from the 3. But the thing about shooting from the 3 is you live by the 3, you die by the 3, like my man King Rail was saying in one of his posts the other day. And that's what happens out there. And when you're talking college sports, it could be some cloudy days from the shooting side.
There's no doubt about that, but you have to think that Georgetown's bigs will slow it down. I understand why the market is moving in this direction. I will add a third spot here. Let me get just the very best total with my man DJ Big Boss dropping 3 plays. Now he's betting 2. He's leaning towards the under, but I can understand why he would be leaning towards the under here. Let's see. There's a 165.5 at Bookmaker, and that is what I will take. I will take the under 165. Quickly, under 165 at Bookmaker at minus 110. Beautiful, beautiful. This is going very well. My college basketball season has been much better when I just let you guys do all the work and roll with the plays that I think make the most sense. DA Sports Picks NYC says, no, Jimmy, stay away. Both teams give up a lot of points. I like it. I like the spot here. I'm going to roll with it. Hail to the Victor says, love Maryland tonight. We are going to get to those spots. Bruce Ean or Mutt Beast like Iowa State, Maryland, Virginia Tech, and Baylor. We will get to those games. Drew Martin here in the chat. And I see Drew Martin in my peripheral vision. DJ Big Boss, we are so much more of a show because you are involved in it. We love your humor and your angles. I'm rolling with you tonight. Big Boss is on Georgetown, Northern Colorado, and I'm adding the under in Georgetown, Creighton. Big Boss, where can we find you on Twitter, and what are you up to this week?
DJ Big Boss with 2 G's and 2 S's at Twitter. So add DJ Big Boss at Twitter. You can come follow me on there, man. I'm always popping up doing some interesting live things with my fellow LoBaggers and all that good stuff, man. So just follow me on Twitter, and you'll be able to figure out everything else from there.
Absolutely love you, Big Boss. Have yourself a great night, and thank you for joining Low Shack in the Bag.
Peace, man. Cheers. Cash them tickets.
Nice. Rolling with our man, DJ Big Boss. And we are getting hotter and hotter as the day goes on. So book the winner with Sacred Heart. Book the winner with Presbyterian. Book the winner with North Carolina Central, even though there's 7.5 minutes left in that one, so I probably shouldn't say that. But shout out to our Maxwell Smart leading us towards the cash. He's having himself a very nice day with his breakdowns of the small schools. And without further ado, I see my man Drew Martin in the house. Drew, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. That was a tough follow behind DJ Big Boss. That was pretty funny stuff, man.
Yeah, man. DJ Big Boss is the truth. That was hilarious. And we are a little bit concerned about Pistol Pete Loshak, so I can understand why Big Boss would look into it very closely. We thought it was just the squirrels, but maybe there's more to meet the eye in that spot. But shout out to my man, DJ Big Boss. Well, we got some big boy games coming up here tonight, Drew. Some big ranked teams, some exciting spots, and I would like just to lead you into these big games. Do you mind?
Yeah, let's have at it, man. I guess could I just have one follow-up on Pete? Is it multiple girls that he's having an issue with? DJ Big Boss, I heard him there. I believe he was in Atlanta on the MARTA, if I'm not mistaken, asking that guy if he stole Pete. But is that the issue there? That is the issue. As some of you know, our man Pete has a thing for hippie BBW MILFs. And when you put that whole combination together, the man just gets very, very excited. So that is the rumor that there is some woman trouble. I know that he's going to be connecting with us remotely throughout the week, so we'll have a lot of questions for him. Okay, Drew Martin, let's start with Virginia Tech at North Carolina. Virginia Tech 15-2, 4-1 in conference, going up against the Tar Heels 14-4, 4-1 in the conference. Open Tar Heels -5, now -4.5
across the board. Total opened at 157, being bet down to 152.5 to 151.5. That's a lot of points for it to be bet down. North Carolina coming off Saturday's 85-76 victory at Miami. Tar Heels shot 55%. That's their first game at 50% or better in 8 games. Tar Heels have won twice since that humiliating 83-62 loss at home to Louisville. North Carolina very strong offensively, but their defense is poor, can be very weak at times. North Carolina offensively, though, got 26 assists in that Miami game. The Hokies bounced back from their 81-59 loss to Virginia by beating Wake Forest 87-71 at home on Saturday. Drew Martin, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. What do you see here?
Yeah, you bring up a lot of good points on the UNC side. 7 of their last games have gone under the total, like you touched on. They have had some trouble shooting. Jimmy, I would actually go towards but more of I'm looking more towards this Hokie side. I know they're on the road, but they are catching points. They have lost 4 straight ATS, which scares me a little bit, but I would look for the Hokies to rebound. They are top 10 in offensive efficiency, but and they also control the pace in a lot of their games, Jimmy. Just 65 possessions averaging per game. A lot of people will point towards under Roy Williams. UNC is 14-4 against Virginia Tech. But if you look a little bit closer, more recent, because I don't like to go, 5-6 years in the past, Virginia Tech's 5-1 ATS in their last 6 against UNC. Plus the fact, if you're looking for weaknesses against North Carolina, they don't handle the ball that well. And Virginia Tech forces just under 16 turnovers per game. So I would look for Virginia Tech to turn them over a little bit. Plus you're catching, 4.5, 5 points, depending where you're shopping. So I would look to be on the Hokies tonight, Jimmy.
Very interesting. On the Hokies. Do you understand this movement on the total being bet down almost 5.5 points at some books?
I mean, that's a huge under. I can see that UNC is starting to become like a little bit of an under trender. 7 of their last 8 under the total. They're not shooting that well. That's what I would probably point towards. But at this point, after this move, I think you're a little bit late to the party jumping on this under. So I'm not involved in it, Jimmy.
I agree with that. I agree. If it moves past 3.5 points, I just stay away feeling like I'm on the ass end of it. And it's been working out pretty well. Well, you're liking the Hokies. Let me ask you this, Drew. Can you give me a prediction of where you think, let's say they both teams stay healthy, of where you think Virginia Tech and North Carolina will be ranked going into their conference tournaments?
As far as national ranking, I would say probably pretty similar to now. I think a lot of the national polls give a lot of credit towards the ACC team. So even if they get losses down the stretch, I could see them being in about the same ballpark that they're ranked now, Jimmy.
And do you feel, it sounds, because you're taking Virginia Tech on the road to cover, are you higher on this Virginia Tech in a future perspective than North Carolina? Yeah,
I'm usually on the defensive-oriented teams. I like the Texas Tech mantra as far as turning the ball over, longer possessions. So, yeah, I look to be on more profile teams, more similar to Virginia Tech, especially come tournament time. If you have good guards, you can hit free throws, you can defend the three-point line, and you play good defense overall, I'll look to bet on you come March.
I like it. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger at this point, but I see what you're looking at, being a small market move in that direction. Vinny Cornell says Tar Heels do not close out games, plus lots of turnovers. Christopher Comentini liking North Carolina -4. But let's keep rolling into our next game. Maryland at Michigan State. Maryland 7-1 in conference. Michigan State 7-0. Open Michigan State -9.5. Now there's 8.5s and 9s on the board. Total opened at 150. And just like that Hokies Tar Heels game, it's been bet down. Now you can get between 146 and 145. The Spartans are coming off a tough 70-64 win at Nebraska on Thursday night. 4 straight road win, 11 straight win overall. Very impressive without Langford and Aarons. Maryland's coming off a big 75-61 win at Ohio State. 7 straight for the Terrapins, and the 3rd consecutive win away from home. What do you like here? Maryland at Michigan.
Maryland won 7 straight up games. Last 2 games have gone under the total, Jimmy. And when you're looking to break this game down as far as what I'm betting, I'm on the under, and I really like this game. This is a 2-unit play for me. The Virginia Tech play, just a 1-unit play. So more so in totals, I tend to bet a little bit more. A 250 team in terms of pace, they're going to kind of slow it down. And Michigan State's the real reason I like this under, Jimmy. Since Josh Langford's gone out, 3 straight unders. They did have an over when he first went out, but since then, 3 straight unders. And if you watch them play, they really don't run out nearly as fast without him, an athletic guy. And they're not pushing the pace like they used to come pre-Big Ten play. Both teams in the 300s in terms of defensive turnovers. So not a lot of exchange of possessions where you can get quick layups, quick points like that. I think it all points to the under. And this is a move that, we're missing out on about 2 points, but I still think there's value here. We got still a 146 out there, a lot of 145s and a half. If you can grab a 146, that's obviously better. I like this game under, Jimmy.
Very interesting. And the market really agreeing. I like this spot. Also, Maxwell Smart liking your play on the Hokies there. Says yes, Drew, with capital letters. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's take a closer look at this move here in the Spartans game. Let's just take a look. When did the move happen exactly? All between about 11 a.m. and 3 o'clock. But even in the last hour and a half, bit of U-shaped movement here at Pinnacle went from 146.5 down to 143.5 and then back up to 145.5. What does a U-shaped movement in a spot like this tell you, Drew?
I don't tend to look too much into those, Jimmy. I mean, I guess I would point towards just buyback, but at some point, there's going to be numbers guys that just come in and see value the other way. But if you tend to get, 6-7 point moves, like on this UNC Virginia Tech game, I wouldn't be surprised if before tip there started to be a buyback towards the over as well. Just guys being able to kind of catch both sides of this with a 5-6 point cushion there to win both bets.
Very interesting. Tomer says, I think the total is tough. Both teams like to run. Michigan State plays faster at home. Did you watch the Maryland-Ohio State game? Because I was way on the wrong side in that spot. Maryland completely destroyed them. What do you see from Maryland in the future? Is this a young team? We know they play 5 freshmen on the floor at times. Is this a team that's just on the rise? Can they put a scare into the Spartans on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can, but to tell you the truth, Jimmy, I didn't see that game, and Maryland isn't a team I've been involved with a lot. Just breaking them down here for this game, this will actually be the first time I have a bet involving Maryland. I've been on Michigan State under the total, and the Terps side shows me nothing to get off of that. Yeah, they can run at times, the Terps can, but this is more on Michigan State finding change, which I think is the greatest way to win in sports betting, with Josh Langford being nicked up and them not pushing the ball as much. I think there is value betting Sparty under the total now and, seeing how tonight goes, possibly in future matchups. But I'll have to kind of plead the fifth on the Maryland side, just because I haven't been involved with them much, Jim.
I feel you. That's a very interesting look. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it, but I like what I'm seeing. Let's move on to Iowa State at Kansas. Open Kansas minus 5.5. It's pretty much stayed there. Total open at 145 and it's been bet up to 148 and 148.5. Kansas coming off that surprising 65-64 loss at West Virginia. Now they face an Iowa State team that handled them 77-60 on January 5th at Hilton. Since the Jayhawks lost as Abuike and still haven't got D'Souza in the lineup, Dedrick Lawson is being asked to do a ton, maybe too much. Cyclones coming off 72-59 win over Oklahoma State. They have Cam Lard back in action. What do you think here? Iowa State at Kansas.
Yeah, this is a rematch. Just about 3 weeks ago, Iowa State at home beat Kansas by 16 points. And now this line, Jimmy, this is kind of an eye-opener to me. I mean, seeing 5.5. Granted, Kansas is at home. But Iowa State, this Cyclones team is a team I really like. When you start talking about teams look to bet, come March towards the end of the season, a top 20 team in terms of offensive and defensive efficiency. So getting it done on both ends of the ball. free throws over 70%, and they defend the three. Defending the three is one of those things. I think it's correlated game to game. If you can defend the three, a lot of times that carries over from game to game. Kansas on the other end, let's see here. I had a couple good stats. 67% from the free throw line. And also in that West Virginia game, I think we're going to talk about that as well, Jimmy. They didn't shoot very well below 50% from the floor. I could actually see them rebounding. So Iowa State's a team I am looking to bet on. But on the same token, this line is so eye-opening to me. I really didn't see Kansas being -5, -5.5, enough so it's almost like I'm missing out on something. The market's telling me something or telling us something that, Kansas might have a little revenge in their blood, something like that. So I'm actually not involved in this one.
Interesting. Yeah, I was interested in seeing what movement this spread would have, and it's pretty much just stayed there. Hail to the Victor says Kansas rolls. What do you feel about this total? Does it make sense that it's been bet up to 148 or 148.5?
No, I actually kind of disagree with that, because a lot of times, when you start talking what the field has there in Kansas getting calls at home, it's kind of been a trend here in college basketball. But Iowa State doesn't foul a lot. One of the least fouling teams defensively in the country. So I don't see a lot of fouls, which means the clock's going to be rolling, not a lot of free throw attempts. So I really don't, Jimmy. I would actually, gun to head, I'd be on the under, but I'm not involved in the total either.
Interesting stuff. I'm still going back to jumping on this Maryland-Michigan under with you. Well, we don't have too much time left. King Rail will be joining us shortly to break down the late games in NBA, but we have this Baylor at West Virginia spot. Max says, I think Baylor still has value on the road. West Virginia opens at -1. Now it's -3. Total open at 140.5, being bet down slightly. Mountaineers picked up their biggest win of the season on Saturday, taking out Kansas. They went into the game winless in conference play, coming off their 4th straight loss in a blowout to TCU, and they come back. Shocking. Baylor is also coming off impressive back-to-back wins, Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. What are you thinking here?
Jimmy, I like the under again. I know it's being a trend, and I'm kind of just repeating a lot of just betting the unders, and some people don't like it, but I just like the cash tickets, and that's what I see on tonight's card, Jimmy. I'll tell you a couple stats that really point it this way. I do like Baylor if you're looking for a side, but more so I like this under. Baylor, 300 team in terms of pace, and just 67% from the free throw line. That's the reason I don't really want to bet them on the road here. They're only catching 2.5 or 3 points. Defensive efficiency, they are up there, but more so on the West Virginia side, Jimmy. Let me throw out a couple stats to you. 231st in the country in turnovers forced. This press Virginia team just isn't happening this year. 230 in the country in three-point defense. Under 70% from the three-point line. Turnover a bunch on offense. A 300 team in terms of turnovers offensively. Off of this Kansas win, where Kansas didn't shoot very well at all from the floor, I would actually look for them to kind of regress a little bit offensively. I like this game under, Jimmy. The market's been moving under as well. I think we're seeing 139. I still like it under. West Virginia in the half-court offense just can't score. I don't think Baylor scores enough. I like it really under the total of 139.
Well, I have heard enough. I like what I've seen from your breakdowns. I'm going to jump on both of these unders right now. I can get 146 at -105 at 5 dimes. That's on the Michigan State spot. Now, did that game starts in 21 minutes?
Yeah, it's 6:30 Eastern.
Okay, so I'm going to have to make that bet during the show. So sorry, sorry, hate that I don't have Pete here at line shopping for me. So that's 146 -105. 146 -105. So I'll have to make that bet when we get King Rail on. And also, I will be jumping on the Baylor West Virginia under. Thanks to my man, Drew Martin. Let's take a look at what I'm getting there. I'm getting 139.5 at -112 at Pinnacle. That is under 139.5 at -112 at Pinnacle. I will be making half-unit bets on these, Drew. So let's make this fucking happen, my man. Thank you so much for joining us, Drew Martin. Where can we find you on the Twitter? And what else are you up to this week that we can find you at?
Well, Jimmy, am I going to be on the show tomorrow?
Oh, we'd love to have you.
Show?
If you could jump on tomorrow morning, that would be great. We're going to have Maxwell Smart on the late show, but if we could get you on the early show, last 15 minutes, that would be very helpful to see what you're looking at for college basketball that night. We would love that.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, let's plan on that tomorrow. On Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Also planning on heading down there for Costa Rica in the Super Bowl. We got a lot going on. I'm excited to get back with you, Jimmy, have a couple beers, catch up, man. You got to let me know what's going on there in Costa Rica. It should be a really fun time, so guys, look out for that. But yeah, on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. And really liking the under in Baylor, West Virginia. Also the under in Maryland, Michigan State. So hopefully a 2-0 night. Very least 1-1, get some free entertainment minus the juice. I guess I'd take it, but rather have a 2-0. So hopefully a defensive night tonight, Jimmy. And thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, we love having you. Shout out to Drew Martin, and let's keep it rolling. I see King Rail in my peripheral vision. King, you were incredible this morning, handing out winner after winner after winner. And I only jumped on 3, but went 2-1, and feeling good about it. And I can't wait to break down these late games. How are you, my man?
I'm doing good, man. It's hot as hell in my house. I'm sweating like a hooker in church, but I'll manage, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah, hookers sweat, don't they? Okay, let's break down these NBA games right now. You had a great read on these early games. Shout out, putting money in our pockets, and I love that. So also, I have not made a move on this Pelicans-Grizzlies game. Has that gone off?
Yeah, it went off already. I gave an in-play out on the show under first half. Minus 115.5. Everybody asks about in-play bets. In order to in-play, you guys got to be watching the basketball game, man. Don't just take an in-play bet blindly. Try to be watching the game and see what it is. Now, I give them out, so I guess if you tell me it's a blind way to do it, but if you're just a guy making in-play bets and you guys DM me saying the team is down 6 or down this, should I just in-play it? No, be watching the basketball game. Know what you're looking for. But I did give out Memphis full game under 219. That's looking okay in the first half, Jim. Under 115 in play.
Oh, that's looking so good. Man, I screwed up, just a little overwhelmed today. Memphis and the under were plays that you were pushing us to jump on, and I did not do that, and I hate myself for it. Boston up early. That game's just starting, but we have 3 late games that I can't wait to break down. Let's start off with a marquee matchup in the Rockets at Sixers. We've been told that Jimmy Buckets will not be in the lineup. I don't know if you can confirm that. Sixers coming off a last-second home loss, 117-115 to the Thunder on Saturday. Embiid led the way, 31-8-6. Simmons 20-15-9. But Embiid back tightness, questionable to play. Butler sore wrist, I guess, knocked him out of the game. Embiid was a game-time injury, or was a game-time with his injury, game-time decision on Saturday, but he suited up and destroyed as always. Rockets did not look good, beating the Lakers 138-134 in overtime. Again, Hardaway goes for 48. Gordon goes for 30. Harden is rolling. Paul and Capella still out. What are you thinking here, Rockets at Sixers?
Well, yeah, you're right. No Butler tonight. Still have to find out what's going on with Embiid, man. And what concerns me in this spot, everybody's screaming Philadelphia, Philadelphia. Look, Embiid go out there with no Butler out there. You're going to look for him to put in more. He'll be more of an offensive and defensive presence on the floor tonight. And with a sore back, man, I don't know if that's a real smart move for the 76ers to be making against this team like the Houston Rockets, who can just put up baskets. I was looking at the first quarter in this game because Philadelphia is second in first quarter points, averaging about 30 points. And Houston's not right behind them with 28 points a quarter. And the total was sitting at 60. But now that Butler's out, I wonder if it's going to drop a little bit. I may jump on first quarter Houston Rockets as well, man. I want to see what happens with Embiid. This total now to me looks a little bit high now without Butler playing, so you're going to be missing some buckets from him. Simmons, he has good games, he has off games, but he's not consistent enough. I haven't seen enough from him out there yet, so I'm still leading the Houston Rockets in this spot, Jim. And real quick, Houston news, Carmelo Anthony was traded to the Bulls, but he won't be playing for the Bulls, everybody. I'm sorry. Carmelo issued a statement last week that by February 7th, he will be making a decision on where he will be playing. Everybody's saying he may go to Philadelphia. I doubt he go to Philadelphia after what happened up there in New York and how the media treated him up there and the response he got when they were losing. So you may see Carmelo in a place like Portland, the Lakers, somewhere around there, someplace on the West Coast. I think he comes back and stay. I think he stays on the West Coast this time. He doesn't travel east.
Interesting. I did not know about that. Back to that Rockets, Sixers spot. Tom Marino says, I'm on Philadelphia. Houston has no interior defense. Embiid and Simmons should be strong. Embiid has been playing most of the time. He's a game-time decision. Yeah, most time. And he says Embiid seems fine. Scored 31 last game. Shot over 50%. If Embiid is in the lineup, how does that dictate what moves you make on the total and on the side?
If he's in the lineup, I'll still lean towards the under, but that'd be the one I have to take on the end play. I'm not jumping on a 230 something right now without Butler in the game. And like I said, if Embiid does play in this game, man, the offense is going to go through him and the defense is going to depend on him. And I don't know what he means by he seems fine. Man, you didn't see him the first game. He's spazzing and holding on to his back. The man back is hurting him. I mean, we all did some real labor work in our life, and we know what it's like to have a bad back. This man has to go out there and play basketball with a bad back, and his height too. A lot of weight on his body, too. That's a lot of pressure this man's putting on his body out there to go out there and do this. So I'm a little concerned for his health. And as Philadelphia, do they really want this game that bad against this Houston Rockets team? I mean, I know versus the West, the 76ers are 7-1 versus the West in Philadelphia. So they beat the West pretty handily. They whoop on the West ass with no problem. But I don't know, Jim. I mean, I don't trust that over. And Embiid, man, it's going to go on him. They do have Kenneth in the lineup tonight, who they did pick up. So we'll see how he impacts the game as well.
Yeah, very interesting. That total creeping up. Why don't we move on to your Blazers at the Jazz? A very, very interesting spot here. We knew it was only a matter of time for the Jazz to wake up, and that's what they've done. Jazz now lead the NBA in January with a 101.7 defensive rating, limiting opponents to a league-best 9.7 second-chance points per game in January, just 10.8 fast-break points per game during that stretch. Jazz coming off their sixth straight win, easy 115-99 win at home over the Cavaliers and led by as many as 38. They just took the foot off the gas. The Jazz held Cleveland at 31% shooting. Rubio returned to practice in a full capacity. I expect to see him in tonight. He's questionable. I don't know if you know if he's playing. Exum and Nito remain out for the Jazz. Blazers averaged just 93 points in 2 games against the Jazz earlier this year. Blazers have won 9 of 13 since they lost Christmas Day in Salt Lake City. Coming off an easy 128-112 home win over the Pelicans, Lillard's scoring has dipped, but his assists have climbed. I think they're a better team when he's a better distributor. Portland is a healthy squad. What are you thinking here? Blazers at Jazz.
I'll take Blazers, like I said last night, at plus 5.5. And also, Jay Money touched on it earlier when we did our little show. It's a double revenge spot over here for the Portland Trail Blazers. They got embarrassed 2 days before Christmas, lost by 30 points. They went out on Christmas and got embarrassed again, lost by 21 points. In that first game, Rubio had put up 24 points on them. In the game after that, I think he had about 6 assists, acquired 14 points. But Rudy, that's the issue right there for the Blazers, man. He's been a matchup problem. He's averaged a double-double against the Blazers in both of these matchups already this year. Corver even put up 18 points in that first game against Portland. Portland's going to have to tighten up on the perimeter, man. That's their problem. They can just have a tough time guarding the perimeter. When it comes to this game, though, I think the Blazers pull it out. Now, if Rubio comes back, we're going to have to figure out a way to get him back into the flow and the mix of things right now with Mitchell, how he's been running the point guard. And I feel like if Rubio sits, that's better for Portland right now because if this game might go under too. My whole thing on this game, I'm leaning towards the under as well, Jim. If Rubio sits, I'm jumping on the under because I think the Blazers will be able to slow down Mitchell in this game a little bit, and the Blazers should be able to hold on. If the Blazers win, I think this game definitely goes under. So I'm looking at the under, and I'm hoping that Rubio sits. But even if Rubio doesn't sit, I'm still on the Blazers, but I may not pull the trigger on the under.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to get information on Rubio right now. And nothing new, just still questionable. Let's see what has happened with this total being bet up from 215 to 217, and money has come in on the Blazers. The Jazz open at minus 5.5. You can still get 5.5s, but there's a lot of 5s on the board. Portland at Utah. Very, very interesting. I wouldn't mind after we break these 3 games down to actually come back and take another look at them. But why don't we talk about Golden State at the Lakers? Here we get another opportunity to see Boogie in action. Warriors are coming off a 112-94 road win. Boogie looked good. 14 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 6 fouls. He was into the game, went 3 for 4 from 3. Lakers coming off that overtime loss at Houston on Saturday night. 5-8 without LeBron, and now no Lonzo Ball. Ball will not be available for 4 to 6 weeks. Kuzma has stepped up. Rondo's still out. What do you see here? Warriors at Lakers.
Man, Golden State, Golden State, Golden State. Man, Golden State first quarter, Golden State first half, and Golden State full game. Golden State put up 30 points in the first quarter. They're the number one team to put up points in the first quarter. This Lakers team is going to have problems. I mean, without LeBron, I know they said on the thing he's a game-time decision, but LeBron's not expected back, I don't think, until Thursday versus Timberwolves. So he won't be back in the lineup tonight, and if he does play tonight, that'd be stupid to me. It's going to be a blowout by Golden State. No ball is really going to hurt this team out there. Kuzma, he could go and put up 40 points if he wants to tonight. They're still going to end up losing by double digits tonight. Lakers are in trouble. They're just in trouble completely. And in fact, you got Boogie back out there too. And we saw what he did last game. Yeah, he fouled out, but they fed him. And that got everybody else open. Just kept trying to feed him and include him. And he's hungry right now, man. He's having fun. He's on a winning team. He knows he's playing for a championship this year. So I can't wait to see him get out there this time. Hopefully he can maintain his fouls. But against this Lakers team, man, I'm sorry, LA. Y'all, I've been saying fade LA till LeBron come back. I mean, it's a blind fade for me. Every game against LA game, I just fade them. I fade them every single time, and I'm going to do it again tonight. But this time, I'm on the first quarter, first half, and full game. So I'm loving going to stay in this spot.
Wow. So -4 first quarter, excuse me, -7 first half, and then -12 full game. Do any of those spots appeal to you more than the rest?
I think Golden State come out early in that -4. I look at that. I usually don't put full unit bets on my first quarters because it's just a bankroll management is a smarter way to do it. But I put a full unit on this first quarter, and I already have them at the 10.5, and I grabbed them -7 like probably about an hour before I came on here with you. So I like the first quarter and full game better. I know it's up at 12 right now. I mean, I'm sorry everybody couldn't get it to 10.5. And I think I DM'd you last night saying the same thing, Jim. Today, that game will be up to about 12, maybe even 13 before it tip off. And it's getting up there right now. But I like the first quarter a lot, and I like the full game still. I like the first half as well, man. I mean, all these plays are worth per unit, Jim, if you ask me. You can't go wrong in any of them.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Will they hammer early, and why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they put on a little show? A lot of people liking your spot here with the Warriors. Brian Arpin says Warriors blow them out second half. Tom Marino says Warriors were embarrassed at home against LA. I'd lean Golden State, but big number. Not applicable says Golden State wins for fun. Ike Johnson says Golden State on revenge. Chad Ocho saying, Jimmy, what's your NHL late game picks? I don't know if I'm going to make any. If I make one, it would just be the Panthers here, and I think the Sharks are a little embarrassed. First half of it back-to-back. I don't know if I'm going to make any right now. I'm slight winning night because that total hit in the Blues-Kings game. Also, look for that. I know we're going to break down, we got to use King Rail as much as possible because we're so lucky to have him on the show, but look for those low totals in afternoon games. Afternoon games often equals sloppy play. And if you're getting a juiced 5.5 juice to the under, no reason not to find value with that over. Interesting stuff. Ski Prophet says Ingram playing point guard. You know what that means? ISO ball. Absolutely. So what are you thinking about this? Oh, and Cream of Wheat Jones just put a G on the Warriors -12. Danksy says, can we go over the Rockets Sixers total liking that under? We absolutely can, Danksy's. So Warriors, what are you feeling on this total here? Or do you think a team total would be the best way to play it?
I didn't even look at the total whatsoever, man. It's Golden State. They could go up there and dominate the inside if they want to in this game, or they could dominate the outside. We seen the Lakers last game. They allowed a team like the Rockets just to shoot every time, and that's what I was looking at. I'm like, man, they're allowing the Rockets to just shoot that three, and that's gonna kill them. I mean, the Rockets, that's what they live and die by the 3-point shot. The Golden State Warriors, on the other hand, they take a 3-point shot like it's a field goal, like a layup to them. So it's nothing to them. And if LA allows this team to just go out there and shoot. Man, I think, Golden State could put up about 150 points if they want to against this Lakers team right now. That's how bad the Lakers are at guarding the perimeter and just giving up on plays. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Josh Hart. And then what Ski just hitting on the head with Ingram running the point guard. That's ISO ball. Josh Hart isn't playing. He's not doing anything out there. And Kuzma, he got to taste the blood already after he done scored and dropped some points. And he done it twice already. So it's going to be a lot of selfish basketball tonight. Everybody wanting to upshow the Golden State Warriors tonight. So I don't know, Jim. I would stay away from that total. I'll just pick a side here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Devin C12 saying no college basketball discussions today. Devin, we did about 30 minutes on the morning show, about 25 minutes, and we did about 25 here, but we are going to be focusing on different things. I apologize, Devin. You know that Max will be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday late shows to hammer the card in its entirety. Well, our man Danksy's wanted to pick your brain a little bit more on the total in this Rockets at Sixers. We know that Jimmy Buckets is not going to be in the lineup. We think that Embiid will be, just because Buckets won't be, but will Harden go off? What are you thinking about this total? Rockets at Sixers.
It's not so much that Harden goes off. I mean, it's the fact that if Embiid plays, it's going to come down to when Embiid plays. Like we touched on earlier, Jim, in the other game, second chance baskets. 76ers won't get that if Embiid doesn't play. Also, they're going to miss plenty of points as well without Butler being there. And if Embiid doesn't be there at all, then I would just say jump on the under. But we have to wait and see if Embiid plays. That's like the main thing we're looking for, is if he plays. Because that's the situation right there. That's where the 76ers will be able to exploit the Rockets tonight and actually pull away and probably win this game if they can use Embiid the right way. But you have to wait and see who plays. That's not something I would just jump on. If Embiid plays, then I would still tell you to probably stay away from the over. I mean, I don't like it that much as I like the side here with taking the Rockets and the points. That total, man, some of these totals you have to just stay off of, man, or in play them. But you have to know who's playing in the game before you hop on the total.
Absolutely. You have to be able to figure out pace. Devin C12, we love you. You're a LoBag fam. Just wanted to let you know what was up. Rem Mo says, nice hit on the over 5.5. Jimmy, thank you, Rem. Thank you. Vegas already up 1-0. Glenn Elliott, man, like in Golden State -12. Golden State team total over, and LA Lakers team total under. And Tomarino says Butler out helps the over. He would have guarded Harden. I think that's a good point, Tomarino. Dennis Selleck liking Warriors first half team total over. So we have 3 late games here, King. Rockets, Sixers, Blazers, Jazz, Warriors, Lakers. I'm guessing you think the Warriors full game is the best spot between those 3?
Sitting at 12 right now, I would say first quarter and first half. That 12 right there, it's a little scary because it's up to 12. But like I said, they should be able to cover this with no problem. I mean, we had some spreads the other day that was sitting at 15 and 17 against Cavaliers and Bull squads with teams covered. This Laker team is about as bad as them right now. They don't have no Rondo, no LeBron, now no Ball. And we seen what Ball been out there doing. The kid I'm sorry he went down with an injury. And I made fun of LA fans. I didn't make fun of him because of his injury. I just made fun of him because they was all on Twitter, Jim, giving me nothing but L's. You know how many L emojis and guilts I got on Twitter? And then after they lost, all that shit quieted up. I'm hoping they catch another L tonight. I want Lakers to lose by 30 points, Jim.
Wow, interesting. Shout out to Abdul Rahim Nadeem giving love from Pakistan. Love right back at you. Brian Watson saying, King Rail, you on at 7 p.m. tomorrow again? And I believe you go back to your regular time slot after today's shows?
Yeah, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And tomorrow we'll have Ian Cameron joining us, too, to talk some college hoops and some NBA with us.
Well, I'm going to roll with the chat here and the excitement over the Warriors right now. Also, Cream of Wheat Jones says, King, you are the man. I already cashed on an earlier NBA parlay. Keep it coming. Yes, Rail, we are very, very lucky to roll with you. And Memphis continues to get the job done against New Orleans. Damn, I wish I made that move here. Okay, let's keep rolling here. So Golden State first half -7 at -105. I'll be making that an official play right there. And full game. Let's take a look at what the best full game we could get right here. Full game quickly. Warriors don't have Low-Shack to do this for me. Quickly, full game, excuse me. Here we go.
While you look for that, Jim, I'm looking over here to see if I see some in play right now in Memphis. I'm watching the game. I mean, Pelicans caught back up at 43-44. I'm going to have to go back and watch the game and see why they caught back up since I've been on here with you. But the total's at 211 right now. Depending on what it's sitting at by halftime, I would probably say jump on the under that game again. I think it's going to stay under. Memphis they're not a scoring team like that. And right now the Pelicans are trying to find a way to get their baskets. They're falling right now, but I think Memphis just can't score to have problems scoring points. So we'll see. But I like the under in this game. It's at 213.5 right now. If we go back up to like 215.5, I'll probably jump on the under again.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're getting love from the crew here. Yella Hammered 75 says, thanks, Rail, for the Bulls play. Jim Rome Zadu says, King Rail, you're the man. Great way to start a cold-ass Monday. Is there anything that you're interested in going on in tomorrow night's card that we could get a little heads up on? We got Sacramento at Toronto. Big spread there. Is that possible? That spread seems too big. Toronto double digits here. That seems too big. 11 points. Saying at Bet Online right now. We have Portland at OKC. That total's already dropped. That spread's already dropped. It opened Oklahoma City -7, already 5.5 and some 5s on the board. There's nothing on Clippers Dallas, but Minnesota at Phoenix. Phoenix is 6-point dogs. Is there anything you're looking at?
I'm looking at that. Let's see what Blazers do tonight, man. Because I know Blazers, this is going to be an emotional game for the Blazers playing Utah. Like I said, Utah going to kick their ass twice already, and it was an ass kicking. So I think the Blazers may put in a lot of effort tonight to beat this Utah Jazz team, and that could drain them actually where they have to go play OKC tomorrow, man. So I'm looking at OKC already in this spot at 5.5. I mean, I'm hoping that money comes in on the Blazers so I could get maybe a 5 without having to buy a half a point. I think tomorrow OKC might be in a nice spot to beat the Blazers.
Yeah, that's very... So let me ask you this then, just so we can get kind of a heads up on how you would break that down. Let's say the Blazers step up, play great against the Jazz. That would make you love to fade them. What if the Blazers get beaten up again by the Jazz? Would you then think about backing them?
Yeah, if they lose tonight against the Jazz, then I would probably look to take the Blazers. If Blazers lose tonight, I expect money to come in on OKC tomorrow. Well, it'll give me a better value at the Blazers that are 6 or 6.5. But I think the Blazers are gonna go in there and win tonight, and that win tonight will cause the Blazers to probably lose tomorrow against OKC. And OKC knows they have to win some games in front of their home crowd, especially the losses they have taken lately. So, like I said, Billy's job is on the line, man. So he has to show he can win at home. That's crazy to say you got a team has to prove they can win at home, but OKC right now have to prove they can win at home.
Oh, this is just great breakdown. So I've doubled up on those Warriors. Back in my man King Rail, first half -7, full game -12.5. I got -105 on the first half, -101 on the full game. Bruce Ean, our man Mutt Beast, thinks Jazz win big tonight. Did you take a look at any of these NCAA basketball games, King?
No, I didn't do nothing at all. No hoop today, man. After I did the morning show with you, I went and capped some more. Then did my little show. Then I had to go make some errands. Then came back and capped a little bit and did this. So no college for me today, man. Max took care of that for me. So, you know what I mean? He did all the college I needed to get in. So I trust what Max say, and I'll roll with him on a few plays. Oh, I'm about to roll with him on a couple plays.
Yeah, Max was feeding us winners, and so were you. Thank you for putting money in the LoBaggers' pockets, King. Where can we find you on Twitter, and where can we find you this week?
King Rail 2, man, on Twitter. King's Court every day after the late show on here at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And that's it, man. I'm King Rail. I don't be nowhere else but on Twitter and shit on my show. So that's how y'all want to reach me. That's where y'all find me at, man. I'm right there.
Shout out to our man King Rail joining us on the night where he doesn't have to work. Still comes the Low Shack in the Bag show to deliver the goods and feed us winners. So the only final thing is, now that I've already hit that over in NHL, I lose with the Lanch, but gain a little bit with the over 5.5 on Blues Kings. I don't see a real reason to make a move on these Panthers. Although I do think that they probably take care of business. How embarrassed is San Jose after back-to-back 6-3 losses? That's the question. Vegas already up 1-0. How embarrassed are they? I don't know. I'm fine with where I stand. At this point, I can't have a losing day. I've got enough winners coming in where I can't possibly lose. So I'm going to stick with what I have right now. Chad Ocho says, Jimmy, what are Max's picks? I don't know. Excuse me. I lose my voice. Wow. I need to go to the doctor. Does anybody have a doctor? I don't know what Max is on right now. Chad Ocho, you'd have to ask him. So hit him on Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter. But Max will be back on our late show tomorrow. And hopefully I'll be getting better because that has not been happening. But you may say, Jimmy, this show is over. Let's get to the TV and watch these games. I'll say no, because we have Lucrative Larry's plays of tomorrow. You're not Lucrative Larry. Freddie Fortune. Freddie Fortune, what's up, man? I thought it was lucrative Larry.
Larry's a pussy.
Wow, okay.
Larry is a fucking idiot.
Whoa.
He's all sad because there's no handball today. So I cannot play for the show. I gotta play for you, idiot.
Look who the fuck is talking, huh? I've been here for more than 100 fucking plays, you motherfucker. Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck off, asshole. I met fucking DJ Big Boss number one. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody fucking likes you.
You fat ass.
Nobody fucking likes you, you motherfucker. Look at the... I met Pete and Jimmy for the fucking year, motherfucker.
You're
The Giants? The Giants? Get the fuck out. Nobody... Fuck you, man. I'm waiting for the Giants to classify the... Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. I'm sorry, Mr. Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Get out of here, idiot.
Fuck you,
have no
ass.
place. This is a
Fuck you,
petty
nobody
show.
fucking
Idiota,
likes you,
váyase a la
asshole.
mierda. Me cago en su madre. Get out of here, badass. Move. I said move. He's crying now. What a bitch.
So what do you
Australian
have?
Open.
Australian
2-game parlay. Rafael Nadal to win 3-0 over Francis Tiafoe. Remember the guy that was interrupted during his game with loud sex? Yeah, look it up. Also, Petra Kvitova to win over Ashley Barty at -175. This gives me a +120 parlay at Bet365. Sorry, I'm very pissed.
Okay.
Again, Rafael Nadal to win 3-0 at -250. And Petra Kvitova to win over Ashley Barty at -175. Parlay is 120. +120.
All right, then.
Fucking done Clay Pottery, you motherfucker. Who the fuck do you think you are? Clay Pottery, fucking everything, man. Grass court, clay court. Who the fuck do you think you are, huh?
Thank you guys so much for watching Low Shack in the Bag. We will be back at 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. Get that cash. Leche and los bookmakers.